Welcome to the Bestseller Club series. In this series, we talk to various authors who join my community called Author Freedom Hub, and they write the book, publish the book, and take it to global bestseller level. Yes, and today we have with us Lalit Hundalani from Noida. Lalit is a financial professional, finance professional. He worked in the various companies in the past, but now he's into full-time life transformation coaching, and he's a best-selling author of two books. You can see the background: Hacking the Productivity, Focus Your Way to Fortune. And these books have hit bestseller at USA, UK, and India, of course. So welcome, Lalit, to the show.
Thank you, Som. Thank you for very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure and my gratitude to you.
Pleasure. I'm sure people have a lot to learn from you in terms of focus, productivity. Before we get started, if you are someone who is watching this interview for the first time, there's a subscribe and hit notification button in the below. So click subscribe, hit notification bell so that you'll be receiving all those future notifications about these interviews. So with that, let's get started. Lalit joined the community in the month of October 2020, and he took action. In the month of January, he published his first book called Hacking the Productivity. In the month of June, he published the second book, Focus Your Way to Fortune. And both these books, as I told, has a global bestseller. And now let's jump into the segment. Lalit, I know we have earlier also talked about your journey in the author transformation stories. So let's straightforward get into just quickly give your a brief background once so that someone who is watching for the first time, they can know about you. And then we'll get into your book, your author journey, and how you hit bestseller multiple countries. Over to you.
Sure, Som. So I will start with currently what I'm doing. So I'm a self-confessed productivity geek and a life transformation coach, currently on a mission to empower 1 million people transform their lives.
Wow.
So in that journey, books come handy because they have a longevity and they give you the knowledge like no other. Now, before becoming a coach and an author and on my way to become an entrepreneur, I was a banker working into the corporate world, worked with the Indian, private bank sector for close to 2 decades. So that's been my past. An out and out sales professional with, no connectivity with the writing part and the coaching part so far. So whatever I was doing earlier and what I'm doing right now are in total contrast. But what I learned, what I was doing was good. I was successful over there. I was successful corporate professional. But then there is an itch to do more. What is the legacy you are leaving behind? And I didn't want to be, the part of the crowd where people remember you only as long as you work. So there is a selfish motive. I wanted to be remembered for long. And at the same time, I wanted to contribute more than what I was doing earlier. Hence, there is a shift from a corporate professional to a coach and the author. And now here I am in front of you.
Awesome journey. In fact, I'm really inspired by the mission you have, inspiring 1 million people to live life in a wonderful way. And yes, you rightly said, books makes you immortal because your message is left behind. People like Stephen Covey, he died in 2012 and his book is still selling like hotcakes. And I read this book twice, and I mean, after his death. So yes, you can still continue to inspire people even if they are no more in the world. So wish you a long life, but yes, you have chosen the right path. So just quickly, for the sake of understanding by people, finance professional for a long period and then jumping into the life coaching. These are, like, as you said, very different kind of paths. So could you just talk about what was going on in your mind in the last few years when we were in the job and thinking of switching to life coaching? What was going on in your mind? Apprise the audience about those kinds of feelings, thoughts, because there are many people watching this interview. They might want to become author, they might want to become life coach, but they are stuck into their corporate jobs. So walk through them, your practical life experience, what was going on in your head, so that people can really get value nugget from this interview.
Thank you, Stum, for asking this question. I really appreciate that. So I will just go little into flashback. So, sales is one job, and anyone who has worked into sales would know sales requires you to do everything. So from end to end, you have to take care of things till the time, you are servicing to the customer. Now, what happens as a part of my profile, I got an opportunity to train the people. So that was a part of my, key result area as a part of my job. And I was nurturing individuals. So among the various things I was doing, apart from fulfilling target, sourcing business, servicing the clients, now this was also what I was doing. And what I realized over the years, this was one part which was very fulfilling. And I tell you how. The boss whom you work for remembers you as long as you are with him or you are working for him. Customers, as long as you are serving them, they remember you. But if you have been able to shape up the career or nurture, the life of an individual when he's just entering, he remembers you down the line. So I have people who used to call me, whom would I would have grown 10 years back. They still remember me, sir. We were a part of your team and we were the management trainees and all that. And at the same time, I also remember those people whom I worked at the beginning of my career. So I realized among the various parameters and various things I am doing, this is something which has a longevity, which gives you a sense of immense fulfillment, and people really appreciate you. And you do this thing without expecting anything in return. So when I nurtured someone or someone nurtured me, there was no expectation as such that we will be remembering each other for so long. So when I identified among the various things, if this is something which is really so meaningful and which connects to my core, to my heart, why not pursue it further? And with that objective, I ventured into the this world of life transformation coaching, where I could impact people. And I'm happy to share most of the participants of my program who go with me are the ones who are the early stage of their career. So someone who has started with the job, early career, but they are feeling stuck somewhere. They need some help to maneuver their way out of this corporate jungle and how to sustain them, so that they are connecting somewhere with me. So my experience with the life coaching skills comes in handy over there. And book is something which are helping me increase my reach and share my experiences. So whatever the books I both the books what I have written, of course they have some element of research, but it has a lot of my experience and as an individual,
Sure.
what I have gathered. So
Sure.
that I am sharing with the people.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome,
So,
awesome. Yeah, if somebody goes to internet and search the topmost coaches, every coach who is successful, they have a book, because a coach without a book is somewhat looks like incomplete kind of profile, right? So that's why it's very important. And one more important thing I want to talk about, the way you are talking about your calling. John D. Martini wonderfully said that if somebody is aligning their goals with their topmost values, then life really becomes fulfilled, and you never feel like working again. So more power to you in your journey, Lalit. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. So now let's little bit shift the gears and talk about your latest book, Focus Your Way to Fortune. So tell the audience about why you chose this topic and why focus is important, and why should they read this book, who should read this book, and why should they read this book. Yes.
thanks, so for asking it. So as I told, focus and productivity had always been my forte, and I call myself as a self-confessed productivity geek. So whether anyone else realizes it or not, I am confessing myself. So I always look for ways how you can achieve more during the day, and how you can achieve more in life. Now, for doing so, focus is very, very important, very, very critical, because unless you are focused on something and you don't decide what you want to do, it is simply not possible. Okay, so focus is essentially following one course until success. And I realized of all the things, the people who feel stuck, since I was also doing coaching, so I found people are stuck because they lack clarity, and because they lack clarity, they don't know where to focus on. So the book is an attempt to give clarity to the individual, as per my view, my perspective, how things work for me, so that people can take inspiration and apply it. So the book is not only inspiration, it also gives you complete action plan. Why I chose focus was, and I have mentioned in my book also, in my growing up years, I used to really struggle. I could find many people, achieving much more than what I was able to do, despite putting so many hours. So I realized it is about focus. If you are able to concentrate your energies and focus on one thing, it is not necessarily about the time. You can achieve results even this shorter span of time. And then we have seen people, successful people. Bill Gates famously said, if you want to be a great software company, you have to be only a software company. So that's very, very powerful. So
Absolutely.
every successful person or the organization in the world which we see right now, they had very clear cut focus what they wanted to do. And even if that means cutting down the formal education in between, charting their own path, they did it. And now we
Yes.
see the results. So
Yes.
that inspired me. So if this is such a critical skill,
Hmm.
why not write something about it? And the book which I have written is a uh, comprehensive book, as I
Hmm.
call it,
Hmm.
because it covers what is focus. Second, it talks about the why of focus. So, okay, I have told you focus, but why should you focus? Unless your
Hmm.
why is clear, you're not going to necessarily act on it. So it talks about the
Correct.
why, where we talk about the importance of focus, why, how it helps you in achieving the success. That is one, and how it helps you in averting the failures. So that is
Hmm.
also important. So one way it takes you great heights, and and that second point, it protects you from falling also. So that is there. Third
Hmm.
is, why is it challenging to focus? Okay, we
Hmm.
know focus importance also. Why do people fail or face challenges? So the
Hmm.
book talks about that,
Okay.
and doesn't stops there. It goes about how can you focus, and towards the end, there is a 10-point blueprint,
Okay.
which is action plan. So it's a blueprint where focus can help you create a fortune for yourself. That's how it works. So to answer your question, the reason why I wrote the book, because it is my problem. So my age became my niche, as it is said. So it was my
Correct.
problem. Since I was
Hmm.
able to overcome it, I
Hmm.
thought, let me share it with the world. It's a comprehensive plan, so it is for everyone. It is not
Hmm.
limited to any particular strata. It is for progressive individuals, achieve with having achiever mentality, who
Hmm.
want to achieve more from life,
Hmm.
feeling stuck, how to go
Hmm.
about, don't know how to go about it. So they
Hmm.
will find value in it. And it is a very, very comprehensive. I am sure you have read it, so you would be, able to relate to what I am saying.
Yeah,
And
it's a
then,
heavy book.
yeah, it's a heavy book. And towards the end, some quick hacks are there. So which is my USP. So my first book was on hacking the productivity, where I was talking about productivity hacks. And
Hmm.
here I have hacks to focus also.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I mean, let me share my thoughts about this focus thing because primarily people think that if they get more time, they will get more done. But no, it's not the case. If you have more time and if you're not focused in that time, then you're not able to achieve the results which you have to. And people who are really progressive and growth minded, they need to understand that focus is something which multiplies the time. If you are really focused on something, then you can achieve results in maybe half or one fourth of the time. Wonderful. And the example of Microsoft you shared, same thing Apple did when Steve Jobs came back in Apple. He immediately
Yeah.
reduced number of products, and Jack Welch also, when he joined GE, he reduced multiple products. So focus by distraction, by removing distractions. And in the journey of anybody who is in the job, in the business, if you are really wasting your time in activities which are not really serving the purpose, then you need to cut them down. And when you cut them down, you get more time, and that time needs to be utilized in a more focused way. And Lalit, your book title is Focus Your Way to Fortune. Can you give some nugget to audience how focus can build fortune briefly?
So focus, my book starts with the quote, which is created by yours truly. Focus lets you see the invisible
Mm-hmm.
so that you can achieve the impossible. So it is such a
Worth
powerful
repeating.
skill.
Worth repeating.
Focus lets you see the invisible so that you can achieve the impossible.
Awesome.
Now, if you want to achieve really great, something impossible, you have to be very, very focused in your approach.
Really.
And I have mentioned about focus to fortune pyramid in my book.
Mm-hmm.
So where at the bottom, I have spoken about clarity, focus, and once you have that, you know how to get your work done. You achieve success. Once you achieve success, you start earning money. Once you start earning money, you manage it well, you create wealth. And once you are able to multiply your wealth, you create fortune.
Hmm.
So it all starts with clarity and focus, and then as you grow, you reach the top of the pyramid. And I have also spoken about a no focus, no fortune wheel. So while focus can let you achieve the fortune, if you have no focus, no clarity, you will be delivering a bad quality work. That means you won't be doing justification to the work you are doing. If you are
Right.
doing that, you won't get success. If you don't get success, you don't earn money. If you don't earn money, you don't create wealth. And if you don't create wealth, no fortune. So it's simple.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So in this time and age when there is Netflix, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, so many things where every second some beep is happening, this focus thing is really very, very important. Had it been like 30 years ago when, I mean, 30, 40 years ago, or maybe decades ago, then things were different. People could still try and they could focus, but now it's really challenging. And in this time and age, this book is really helpful for those people. And I'm sure you must have talked about how to kill all the distractions, because you already said that it's not a theory book, it's a how to book and 10-point bullet. Am I right?
Yes, so I have also given assignments after each chapter.
Oh.
So readers have action points to work upon. And I'm glad to share, I have one of the senior CEOs who's connected with me. He
Hmm.
got the paperback version of my book. And last week I was having one discussion with him where we did a webinar on my book and all.
Hmm.
So he actually showed me, he's writing there,
Hmm.
a person who's more than 50 years of age, he's writing over there the action points whatever I have mentioned. So that
Okay.
gave me to satisfaction,
Hmm.
actually people are using it. So
Yes.
yeah, I have spoken about destruction, action points. After each chapter you have some three questions.
Hmm.
So I'm following the rule of three over here. So three questions which you have to answer for yourself after going
Hmm.
through the chapter, and
Hmm.
so that by the end when you reach it, you have your own blueprint in place which you can, from
Awesome.
which you can take it forward. And
Awesome.
distractions, talking about, from just what I'd like to add on, although we blame distractions and the external environment, my view is it contributes only 20%.
Hmm.
80% is inside us.
Hmm.
If we are not having enough control on ourselves, we are blaming the external environment. So it
Yes.
all begins inside out. If we are able to transform ourselves internally, control
Hmm.
ourselves internally, then
Yes.
it is very, very easy to manage the external distractions.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
that's what.
Awesome. There is a wonderful video by a gentleman called Sam Owens. He talks about think like monk. Think
Okay.
like monk. So yes, we have to definitely resist the temptations to invite the focus in our life. So wonderful, Lalit. So great to hear about your book journey, your book specific, what is covered inside. And I'm sure these are enough teasers for people to pick up your book and enjoy. And more than that, learn something new, and they can transform their life and eventually invite fortune. And we already talk about how successful people were really focused and got this fortune in their life. So wonderfully, you have summarized your book content. Now, let me just talk about a little bit about your, because this is a bestseller club interview, your journey about publishing and hitting bestseller. You are not into, I mean, any kind of book marketing kind of profile in the past. Neither you have done that. You already told in the last interview that you learned the writing and publishing part only in this author freedom hub community. So let's talk about what made you reach the global bestseller in USA, UK, and India. Because you, many people don't even think that even their neighbors would be able to read their books, but you reached USA, UK, and across India. So what is the key things which you learned which help you to achieve this status as a global bestselling author?
Yes, sir. So as I told in my last interview, I had no connection with writing whatsoever. Okay. So thanks to you and Author Freedom Hub, I learned the skill of writing and publishing a book in 2 months. So in the first book, my agenda was clear cut that I wanted to learn the skill of writing and publishing, and that with intent I went.
Hmm.
And that book also hit bestseller in India.
Hmm.
But I didn't do much of marketing.
Okay.
Now, when I was writing the second book, I was very clear again. This time, I know how to write, I know how to publish. So, I am going to learn the marketing so that I reach the global audience. So,
Hmm.
that was the agenda. And of course, I got clarity in terms of how to get it done. So, of course, you have to write a good content, but making it a bestseller, you need to sell more copies, and that requires strategy and tactics. where again the author freedom hub and you came in handy. So I learned how to select the right kind of categories. Then I learned how to select the right kind of keyword selection, so that once people are searching, my book shows up.
Hmm.
Then how to market it. So this
Hmm.
time, from the word go, I was very, very clear that, okay, my book is published on 28th June. So I need to start my, so 28th June was my anniversary. I published it on my anniversary.
Awesome.
I linked it to my son's birthday. So I was clear that on my son's birthday, I need to hit a bestseller. So I launched my marketing on 4th of July. 5th
Hmm.
July is my son's birthday. So
Hmm.
I was able to hit the Indian bestseller on the same day.
Okay.
When I started launching my marketing and advertisement, and then I went global. So I used the promotion agencies suggested by you, and then I also started AMS advertisements. So that also started working parallelly. So how I was working, but I had a launch plan, which you always talk about, that before launching your book, you should have launch plan. So I followed your strategy
Hmm.
of launch plans. So I had booked the promotion agencies. So for 1 week continuously, promotion agencies I was using. So my book was selling. Then onwards, the BookBub and the AMS took it over. So from
Okay.
there, so but since I was able to do consistent sales, and that regular flow was maintained, I think Amazon also started liking me somewhat, and then they rewarded me with this bestseller tag. So that's how it
Awesome.
happened.
Awesome. Awesome. So somebody who is not a marketeer, who is not a sort of any kind of marketing, who is not done, not selling, selling, not done. So what would you say to that person? Is it like, of course, it's a learning curve for sure, but it is doable, right? So just talk about your, because was it very overwhelming, or was it something that anybody who is just committed a bit, they can achieve it?
See, how I see it, I am a very average individual, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. And someone
Okay.
who is not from the publishing or author kind of a background, nor I am a digital marketer,
Hmm.
so I don't have any connection with digital marketing, writing, publicizing. I don't know on this. From a completely different background, from a corporate job, 9 to 9 kind of a thing. 9 to 5, I won't say, because that doesn't work anymore. So if I
Hmm.
can do it, anyone can do it. It's just that, as I again say, that decide your priorities. So
Hmm.
once you decide, okay, I need to publish it and then organize it, which you so beautifully guide in your course also, that
Hmm.
this is the step by step method which needs to be followed. If someone follows it, hitting it bestseller is not a tough task. That's what
Hmm.
I have seen. So if you follow the step-by-step process, you can easily hit the bestseller, and that's how it works out. It's not overwhelming. Also, it's more
Hmm.
in our mind. It's
Hmm.
more in our mind, and in today's day and age, things have become so easy and so convenient. You can
Hmm.
do everything sitting at the comfort of your home. You just need a laptop or desktop, and then you can do it. What else you can
Yes.
want?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, there is a wonderful, there are wonderful studies conducted in which it was shown that in US only in 1 year there are 487 million books are sold. So there are people who are buying the books, you know. So, but idea is that one needs to understand where to find those readers and how to reach them. Unfortunately, people try to sell their books to their relatives and friends who may buy their first or second book, but it is not possible to keep on selling to those people who may not be even readers. You cannot sell your book to your uncle who is a fan of Netflix and tell him to read books on non-fiction or some other areas. So yes, and since you are a focus and productivity guy, and I'm sure priority when you said it is you are really focused on learning those things. But yes, and there is a in today's time and age, as you rightly said, there is everything on the internet. But point is that there is everything. There is no information dearth these days. There is information overload. But now you need to find out where is the real gem nuggets. And I appreciate that you are acknowledging the role of these courses, because courses and coaching give them into a total concise, practical, how to step by step format. And I'm really happy that all these things helped you. Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah, so
now,
just to
yeah,
add on,
go.
yeah, just to add on, see, I started writing and thought of becoming an entrepreneur after listening to you in the webinar before I joined you. Since you had mentioned that you were also into, corporate lawyer, and then you shifted into this. So I thought to myself, if Som can do it, why can't I? So that with that thought process, and that is my request to the people who are going to watch this interview
Hmm.
later,
Hmm.
think from that. So if these two individuals can do it, why not me? So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thanks for bringing this out, because all of individual on this planet are just acting as a chain of inspiration. If one person takes some action, he's leading by example, and people are really getting motivated. And today, as you rightly said, if somebody is watching this, he is stuck in something. Maybe he's happy with the job and he's not able to focus on the priorities, or maybe someone who is willing to try something different and look for their different calling. Then these two individuals on the screen, my friend, are giving you some inspiration that yes, different routes can be taken in the life, and it's not that your past will always determine your future. It's not that. And I just was wondering one thing today, that people take so many years in getting suffixes after their name, like PhD, like I'm a lawyer, company secretary, MBA. So but this one suffix of international best-selling author, it doesn't take much time, right, Lalit?
It doesn't take much time, and this time it has worked wonder for me. So as
Hmm.
you rightly said, your relatives actually don't buy from it, which is true. And this time I publicized it on Facebook also.
Hmm.
So long lost relatives started calling me,
Huh.
and I got recognition as an author because there is no one in my family and friends far
Hmm.
off. So I
Hmm.
started getting recognition,
Hmm.
which was very wonderful. I was not expecting. I was
Yes.
doing with some other objective, so creating a buzz about my book. But now that is a side effect which came in, that relatives who had not spoken to me for 10 years in Facebook. That is
Yes.
what happened. I
Yes.
started getting messages. Please send me your book. It's very exciting, and that's how it works out.
Yes.
So
Because
credibility, recognition, like no other. That's how I can say.
awesome. Yes, yes, yes. And author word is coming from the term authority. So it immediately gives you authority, it builds
Yeah.
your brand. And those who are watching this interview, if you are someone who want to boost your brand, boost your authority, and thinking that whether writing a book is possible for you, whether publishing is a hassle, whether hitting bestseller is something which is only for legends, then I invite you to join our free masterclass, or maybe there is a recording link below this video. Just click on that and take action, because once you take action, things start to move in your favor, because this is the law of universe. There is results come only if you take an action. If you take massive action, massive results will be on your way. And I think we are towards the end of this interview today, Lalit. Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here, and I'll be posting the links of your books down in this video, and I'll recommend everybody who is interested to learn from some practitioner about how to boost productivity, how to build focus, concentration in their life, and how to transform their life, then click on the link below in this video, and you will be getting these two books, and they are, I believe, low priced, and so you can get them and start learning from these books. So with that, Dalit, we are about to end this session, but before we leave, what kind of message you have today for the audience as a parting piece of advice, so that watchers of this video could go back to something to introspect upon?
Yeah. Thank you so much. So before I give my message, so guys, I'm not showing my book because you can already see the books at my back throughout the interview. So I just
Let
don't
me
want
correct
to.
you, Lalit. You have already shown your book in the entire interview, so don't
Yes,
need
so
to show
that's
that.
so people have already watched it, and so please go and buy it. So these are wonderful books, and I'm sure you guys are going to have some learnings.
Hmm.
And parting message, just a small message from my side in terms of a quote I would like to share. Transformation requires you to focus on where you want to be, not where you already are. So, whichever stage of life you are, if you are aspiring to become an author, think about how you can reach there and start the journey towards progressing. Don't think what you have been doing in your past. You might be a CEO, CFO, or whosoever, doesn't matter. If you have decided, chosen to become an author, learn the ropes of the business, and then you are sure to get it there. And similarly, if it is something else which you aspire to, get on there. Okay, so just because I have seen many people who get stuck in the past, they think I am this, I am that, but just shift your focus and fix your what should I say, eyesight on your destination, and you are
Awesome.
sure going to reach there. That's my parting message.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lalit, for summing this up, because your past never determines your future. You can be anything if you want to, and you need to focus on the bigger vision for your life. Wonderful. And with that, we are ending this session. Those who have watched this video till the end and still not subscribed, I once again request you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because this channel is going to be rich of inspiration for many, many more such people coming in. Okay, with that, we are ending this session. Thank you, Lalit, once again, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you so. It's a pleasure having you.